A last chorus for your ears only. I'm David Alpern.
I'm Mark Garber. Quote from the news: "I never thought I'd be on the same stage as Kiss, to be honest." That was Yusuf Islam, formerly the pop star Cat Stevens, now an abstemious student of the Quran, at his induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Others inducted besides the band Kiss included Peter Gabriel and Linda Ronstadt. Now this.
Hey, lock me up, lend me an ear, fresh out of clover and mortgaged up to here. But don't pass the plate, folks, don't pass the cup. I figure whenever you're down and out, the only way is up.
Unlike the character her mother played to sing that song in the Broadway show Wildcat, singer-actress Lucie Arnaz never had to worry much about folks failing to look her over. As the daughter of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, attention came with the territory. So fortunately did the talent, brains, and looks to make sure that after those look-overs, she wasn't overlooked. And she has the awards to prove it: a TV Emmy, a New York Outer Critics Circle Award, and a Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award, among others.
This week, Arnaz makes her debut at Manhattan's posh Café Carlyle in a new cabaret act with the seasonally correct title, Spring is Here, about longing, loving, losing, and loving again. And to talk about that show, her entertainment roots, and her career for your ears only, Lucie Arnaz is on the line now. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Lovely introduction. Well done, boys.
Well, thank you. The first question, of course, has to be whether you ever resisted the family trade, if only in your rebellious teenage years, or have you been a natural entertainer from the start?
You know, I didn't need to resist because you only have to resist when someone is pushing. And nobody pushed. They only inspired the passions that we had. You know, they encouraged, I should say, rather than inspired, although they inspired, too. They encouraged us as kids to follow our heart and to do what we loved. And, you know, my father used to say, you'd be so lucky in life if you can find something that you can wake up in the morning and love to go out and do. And you're even luckier if they pay you to do it.
Was the family name ever more of a burden than an advantage?
It always is, in a sense. Whenever you are related to somebody who is well known for what they do, and you go into the same business, even if you're a plumber, you know, you could be an electrician and say, "Well, my son's a wonderful electrician," and you're thinking, "Yeah, right, he's your son. That's why he's here. You know, he doesn't know anything about electrics." And you have to prove yourself, right? The guy has to put the light bulbs in and wire the media stuff correctly before you think he knows anything on his own. And that's true of course, of people in the entertainment industry. It's nice to get your foot in the door with somebody you know who's in that business. Everybody needs that break. But then you have to show up, and you got to come with the goods. So there's a lot of expectation and presumption when you're the daughter or the son of somebody who's made it.
Well, of course, you appeared in the family TV comedy Here's Lucy, but talk about some of your favorite theater roles after that, first before Broadway.
Oh, wow. There are a lot. Lost in Yonkers, playing the lead, Bella, in Lost in Yonkers on Broadway, which was Neil Simon's Pulitzer Prize-winning show, and I loved doing that. They're playing our song, certainly, because it was my first Broadway show, and it was also Neil Simon, but with Marvin Hamlisch, with music. I loved being in My One and Only with Tommy Tune, because I challenged myself to be able to tap dance a lot in that show, which was really not my forte at the time, but I worked and worked and worked and worked. And he thought I could do it, which was nice. And I was very proud of myself for pulling that off. I did Masterclass, which was a one-woman show, basically, with tons of dialogue and understanding opera and Italian and Latin and Greek and so I've had favorites for different reasons,
Talk about the theme of your new show, Spring is Here, actually a Rodgers and Hart song, much more disappointed about love than its title would suggest.
No, I didn't even know that was a Rodgers and Hart song. You just reminded me of that. I mostly called it that because of the brutal weather everybody's been having back east, and I thought, I'm going to play there in the middle of April. Let's hope spring is there by the time I arrive. And mostly because I tend to choose songs about love in one form or another. That doesn't mean sentimental love ballads, sappy, slow songs about love gone wrong, but like singing about all different kinds of things that you can love, whether it's family, a job, traveling, the good love, the terrible love, the fantasy love, the whole nine yards. And spring is a great time to because that's what they say, when the spring hits, everybody gets all in the mood, Cupid's arrow and all of that. So the show is primarily about love and the arc of romance.
Perhaps the most heartfelt song in the show is Listen to My Heart by living songwriter David Friedman, which brought down the house in New York's cavernous Cathedral of St. John the Divine when I first heard it sung by the late Nancy Lamott. Unforgettable. And I'm not sure I ever heard anybody else's version. What led you to choose that?
Because I absolutely adore David Friedman. He has become a very close friend. And that's what you said is very true. He's a living songwriter. We have a handful of them still around that are fantastic, and I'm lucky enough to actually know these people. And they write some of the best songs ever. What you said is true. Most people only have heard Nancy Lamott sing it, although many people have recorded it. But we're going to do it a little differently because nobody was a bigger fan of Nancy's than I was. And I wanted to not try to put myself up there and say, this is me singing Nancy's version, because I would feel like I was in a karaoke bar, I'm doing it with a little bit different feel, but it only intensifies, I think, what the words say. And it's one of my favorite David Friedman songs.
Lucie Arnaz sings her Spring is Here cabaret show April 15th through the 19th at the Café Carlyle, 35 East 76th Street at Madison Avenue in New York. And this has been For Your Ears Only.